Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to be looking at the overworld map builder element of the RPG World Builder app. What this element of the app does, this overworld map builder, it allows you to build overworld maps using a tile-based system. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you two major things with this. I'm going to show you how to build a map, an auto-generated or procedurally generated map, and then I'm going to show you how you can add descriptions and information to each tile. And then what I want to do is I want to show you how you can link a map or a nested map to a tile that you've created in a map. So it sounds like a lot of stuff, and it is a lot of stuff. So let's get into this and I'll show you how to do it, because I don't want this video to go on forever. So what we're going to do, we have our drop-down list of things that we've already created. We want to create a new map, though. We're going to create an overworld map. And we're going to name this map, I don't know, we're going to name it Funland. And we're going to say for our note that it's fun. The map size, it gives you some pre-made sizes here. You can notice that each of these is a perfect square. So if you want to know like how big the map is, just take the square root. So if it's 16, it would be 4. If it's 25, it would be a 5 by 5 map. If it's 36, 6 by 6, of course. 100 would be a 10 by 10. We'll probably change this to where it says, 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. It'll just make it easier. But for right now, that's what this is showing. So, and because this video is going to be, I want to keep it under a certain amount of time, we're just going to do a small map. The type, you can have overworld or dungeon. I've made several other videos about how to build a dungeon map, but for this one, we're going to do an overworld. We want it auto-generated, so it will be procedurally generated by the app. And now we're going to select our biomes. We're going to select 5 biomes here. So we want to select, let's say, jungle, mountains, plains, swamp, and wasteland. Each of these has a certain chance of generating in the map. And then we're going to do the dominant biome, and I think I want to make it plains. So we have our page filled out here, or our screen with all of our information. We're going to save. It says Overworld Created, and we're going to go to our drop-down menu. And here we have Funland. And so we're going to load our map. So this is the map that we just created. If you notice that the dominant biome is plains, so there's 5 of those, and then we have a wasteland. We have a jungle. We have a swamp. And we have a mountain down here. And so let's look at one of these plains tiles. You'll notice that there's several pieces of information on this screen. There's weather, there's descriptors, and there's notes. And I'm going to go through each one of these with you right now. So if we long hold on the tile itself, we can go through and change the name. We can change the type of tile. And we have a limited tile set in here for the demonstration purpose of these videos, but in the future, each one of these biomes is going to have 5 or 6 different tiles representing it on the screen, so that you don't have the same tile repeated over and over. So you can switch those tiles out if you want. You can go into weather, and you can change the weather for each one of these. So I'm going to change the first one. I think I want to make it hot. And the second one, I'm going to make it rain. And this third one, I am going to make, let's do an eclipse, because there's an eclipse coming up on Monday, on, what is that, the 14th, or 21st, 21st of August, there's an eclipse. Anyway, all right, so we could go through and change these descriptors. I am going to change this one, but I'll just change this one. I'm going to change it to grassy. Okay. So we've made several changes to this tile. The most easily recognizable one is going to be the weather, but we're just going to hit save. And now we're going to go back and we're going to look at that tile that we just did. And you'll notice that we have changed our weather on the tile. We've changed our descriptors. We changed one to grassy. And we haven't messed with the notes yet, so let's do that. So let's put let's add a note to this. And what we want to do with this note is we are going to add a map to this tile, basically a map nested in this tile. So the first thing we're going to do is add a note, and we're going to call this note Dungeon Dread. And the reason we're calling it that is because in one of the other dungeon map videos that I did, we created a small dungeon called Dread, and I'm going to show you how you can build a dungeon like we did in that video and then link it to an overworld map. And that's what we're going to do here. So we've added our Dungeon Dread. We have our title there, and we're going to save that. And now if you notice in notes it says Dungeon Dread. So we've created a note, and we're going to go in here and we're going to add a link to that. And we're going to select the type of link. You could add a build, which would be something like some sort of build, and I'll show you the build encounter treasure menu here in a minute. You could add an encounter or a treasure, and all of these are on a kind of a drop down or rollout menu. But for this, we're going to add a map, and it's the map, like I said, that we built in another video. This will show you a list of all the maps that are available that you can attach to this particular tile. So we could add any of these maps, but for this we want to add our dungeon that we created called Dread. Okay, so we've done that, and now we're going to save that. It says link save, and we want to go back, and now we're on our notes here. So we've saved all of this, and now you've noticed that under Dungeon Dread we have this map, and it says Dread. And so we're going to click on that. And now when you click on that, the dungeon that we created comes up and shows you the entire map, all of which is modifiable as well. So what this feature allows you to do is create an overworld map like we did. It allows you to take a tile from that map and say that in these plains there is a dungeon, and so we attach that dungeon, and now you can nest maps within one another. So if we wanted to, we could even say, all right, so we have this map of these plains. Let's make a like almost a close-up map of where we break these plains down into specific regions within there. So we have a map within a map. So there's maybe like another overworld map within this tile, and then maybe in one of those tiles is a dungeon. You could get as complex as you want with this. But for this example, this is just a very simple overworld map that we have attached a dungeon to, and you can see that by this letter N. It says there's a note on there, which signifies that there's something important going on in the tile. And then what we could do is we could go in here and then we can change the elements in this map to fit whatever purpose we have for our game, our campaign, or our session. And that is how to create a overworld map procedurally generated, letting the app do it for you, and to change the information on the tile page, to change the tiles, and then also how you can add notes and how you can link to other maps to embed them in there. The other element that I wanted to show you for this video is this rollout menu, which allows you to add encounters, it allows you to add treasures and builds. And when you use these, you add them directly to the database, just like when we built this map Dread in the other video. So what you can do is you can add an encounter, and it adds it to the database, and then just like we added this map, or we link to this map, you can link to that encounter so that you can create, say, an encounter or a treasure or a build one time, and then you don't have to recreate it for every tile that you want to link to it. You can just add that link in your notes. So you basically create like the master copy, and then you can add these instances of that into your maps as you want. I'm not going to go into these specifically because I think that they work the same way that we just added the map there. And I think that shows you, like the map that we added, the way we attached it and everything, shows you a pretty good working example of what the possibilities of creating and linking database items to your map tiles would be. Okay, so this is the procedurally generated element of the world, or the overworld map builder element of the app. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video that shows you how to build an overworld map from scratch. It's going to be much shorter than this video because I'm not going to go into all the detail that I went into this. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and Please check out our other videos that show like everything that RPG World Builder is capable of, because it does a ton of stuff, and we really want you guys to see everything that it can do and how it can really make planning or running a game session a little easier. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.